Hey guys! Enjoying our reaction videos? If you are, please click the link to the reacted video in the description and show the creator lots of support. Thanks guys!
Okay guys, I'm jacked up to watch this. This is one of Swagkage's videos, and as you guys know, he was kind enough to allow us to do reactions to his videos on the channel. Now the only reason there haven't been more of them is I want to watch his explanations and his takes on the things surrounding Naruto, but everybody's been telling me no, not yet, because I'm not far enough along and there are too many spoilers. Now the other day in a live stream, some of the gang told me this. Brandon, Jeremiah went through this video explaining Tsukuyomi and said, no, I can watch it. The only thing I'll see is I might actually see a couple of the characters I haven't met yet, or see them in their later iterations. That I don't worry about too much, just because you can't avoid that with Google giving me all kinds of Naruto recommendations all the time now anyway. And I really like Swagkage, and I love his explanation of things. Plus the Tsukuyomi is fascinating to me anyway, because when Itachi used it on Kakashi, I had no idea what the hell that was, but it looked pretty badass. And so, I wouldn't mind understanding more about it, because I especially with, obviously, a showdown between Itachi and Sasuke looming, I'm sure there's going to be more Tsukuyomi in play. We already saw Itachi use it on Sasuke once. So, again, hopefully, I'm sure those guys checked it out for me. There's no spoilers in it. Let's get the Tsukuyomi explained.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Swagkage here, and welcome to today's video, where we're going to be talking about the highly requested
perfect
Tsukuyomi,
voice
one
for
of the
this
most
type of stuff,
powerful
too.
genjutsu in the entire series, and one of the Mangekyo Sharingan abilities of Itachi Uchiha. Now, despite the fact that I've gotten a lot of requests to cover Tsukuyomi in the past, the manga and anime actually do quite a good job explaining how this jutsu works on their own. Now, one thing that the manga does not directly state, as evidenced by the mass confusion about this ability, is that Tsukuyomi is not a jutsu that all Uchiha with the Mangekyo Sharingan have access to. A whole lot of people, as I have touched on in previous videos, seem to think that this is an ability that Sasuke possesses, that Madara possesses, that Obito and Kakashi possess, and no, Tsukuyomi can only be used by Itachi. As you can clearly see here, Madara and Sasuke
I didn't know that. I wonder, well, I'm sure he's going to explain it. I was going to say, I wonder why that is.
have both used generic Sharingan Genjutsu in the past and not Tsukuyomi, and plus the manga does make it pretty evident that each person's Mangekyo Sharingan has access to completely different abilities. There are some rare exceptions, of course, like both Sasuke and Itachi being able to use Amaterasu, but it's pretty strongly implied that Sasuke's other ability is Enton Kagetsuchi, which allows him to control and shape Amaterasu's flames. So yeah, we can safely dismiss the idea that anybody aside from Itachi that we know of can use Tsukuyomi. That's an absolute negative, 100%. Anyway, now that that's been cleared up, let's move on. Like many of the techniques
impressive advantage then.
Tsukuyomi's name draws from ancient Japanese folklore.
Shit.
Its name translates to moon reader in English. It actually draws from the Shinto god of the moon, who is also named Tsukuyomi. Some people also consider Tsukuyomi to...
I love the fact that so many, and you guys pointed this out to me, I love the fact that so many of the different details within Naruto are based on actual Japanese folk, whether it's folklore or whatever you want to call it, but things from Japanese culture.
Be the god of time, which ties in quite nicely with this jutsu's mechanics. Now, as for the mechanics themselves, they're pretty simple, actually. Since Tsukuyomi is a power tied to the Mangekyo Sharingan, it is an ocular genjutsu, and as a result, it requires eye contact with a target to be performed. Itachi cannot initiate Tsukuyomi by just pointing his finger at people like he can with many of his other genjutsu, though that's not a very difficult activation condition to fulfill, especially in cases where the person Itachi is fighting does not know about his ability.
I was just going to say that, but if they're not aware, why would they avoid making eye contact?
Itachi lands Tsukuyomi. I mean, it's pretty much fucking confirmed game over, dude. There's practically no way for a person to break out of Tsukuyomi, and while I can hear a bunch of you typing already,
but Swagkage, Sasuke broke out of Tsukuyomi in his battle with Itachi.
That was because Itachi let him, pure and simple. Now, there are a few counters to Tsukuyomi present in the Naruto world that I'll explain in a bit, but assuming a person doesn't have access to any of these, I mean, rest in peace, dude. Like I said at the beginning of the video, Tsukuyomi is
Seriously, this guy is so good at his delivery.
one of the most powerful genjutsu in the entire Naruto world. As a matter of fact, the only two directly stated to be stronger than it are Kodo Amatsukami and the Infinite Tsukuyomi, with Izanami being a debatable third one. While a person is under this jutsu's effects, Itachi is able to place them under an illusion entirely of his own creation. And while there are numerous genjutsu...
And now, see, when I do see little snippets of stuff that's upcoming, all that does is just jazz you up for it more. You're like, what the hell is that? What's he gonna do? She gonna do? It gonna do? I have fallen into too many traps. I have to leave that out there. You know, cover all the bases.
jutsu that can be broken out of simply by the target's awareness that they are under the effects of one. Tsukuyomi is not one of these. Most of the time, targets under Tsukuyomi's influence are well aware that they are under the effects of a genjutsu, but they simply can't do anything about it.
Wow.
Itachi's goal when affecting them with this jutsu is generally not to trick them, but instead to afflict them with so much psychological trauma that it physically damages them.
Right.
Now, what makes Tsukuyomi
Fucks
in
them up.
particular so powerful is that not only does Itachi have complete control over his target's perception of space like many genjutsu users do, but additionally he has total control over their perception of time as well.
Holy
and this
crap.
means that while a person may only actually be under the effects of the genjutsu for a few seconds,
That's right. And again, that's chalked up to the freaking crappy memory. I forgot about that because that became apparent when with the whole thing with Kakashi of how long it seemed as to how long it actually was. I'd almost forgotten about that. And that was like one of the really bizarre and killer aspects of it.
in real time, they themselves may feel as if multiple days or even multiple years in some cases have passed. For example, when Itachi first used the jutsu on Kakashi in part 1, he made Kakashi feel as though he was trapped inside of a place called the Nightmare Realm for 72 hours, and furthermore, he was able to make it seem as though he was under complete control over how long it took for these 72 hours to pass. While in the Nightmare Realm, Kakashi was continuously stabbed by dozens of sword-wielding copies of Itachi at once for all 72 of these hours. Creepy. And as you can probably guess for yourself, the psychological trauma was enough to cause Kakashi to collapse and placed him in a coma that only Tsunade could force him out of. During the Uchiha clan...
Fuck you, train. I wish I had the Tsukuyomi right now so I could use it on that train and make it, and I would make it think it was riding through hell for the rest of its eternity.
Massacre, Itachi also used Tsukuyomi to place a girl who was in love with him named Izumi Uchiha under a genjutsu where she and Itachi ended up getting married, and she lived out the entire rest of her life in, well, the amount of time is written a bit strangely in the novel, but it is stated to be 1/100th of 1/1000th of 1/1,000,000th of a second, or in other words, 1/100 billionth of a second.
That's pretty quick.
Picoseconds. It's a really short amount of time. 10 picoseconds is how long it would take for light to travel about 3 millimeters. Now, I'm not even gonna bother getting into how ridiculous of a feat that is, but anyway, perceiving such a large amount of events and such a lengthy period of time in a pretty microscopic amount of time was enough to kill Izumi, which means that it's possible to use Tsukuyomi to kill people too. Like I said, if Itachi catches somebody with this jutsu, it's GG immediately. Now, I did mention earlier that there are a few hard counters to Tsukuyomi present in the world of Naruto, but I may have overstated that because there are only 2, and they're only available to people with pretty high tier abilities to begin with. The first was demonstrated by Kabuto after he'd attained Sage Mode, and in order to...
Well, shit, so... fucking Kabuto. So that's basically... The Tsukuyomi is just wildly OP is what we're getting to. Okay, this must be what they're talking about. I see a little bit of the future of my best buddy here.
To avoid being caught by Tsukuyomi, he just completely cut off his eyesight. He just made it to where he couldn't see at all. And now this is an option that most people don't have access to because of the fact that, well, most people don't have Sage Mode and need their eyes to see their surroundings. I guess it is always possible to
see, now this stuff just jazzes me up to see how this all takes
place. The other
place.
stated method to counter Tsukuyomi is for a person to activate their Mangekyo Sharingan when Itachi attempts to cast it. But, of course, this is only available to people with a Mangekyo Sharingan. Sharingan. And since Itachi killed pretty much any potential Mangekyo Sharingan
Yeah.
users when he wiped
When
out
he
the
was a kid.
Uchiha clan, that's not much of an issue for him. And now some of you may be wondering,
Damn.
well, what about perfect Jinchuriki? Can't they break out of Nope. Naruto flat out tells B, hey man, you don't want to get caught in Itachi's genjutsu. If so, it's game over. Don't look into his eyes. Pretty concrete evidence right there. One Jinchuriki to another. What does pose a much more real threat to
He puts this
Itachi than
together
the
so
potential
well.
counters to Tsukuyomi is the immense amount of chakra it requires and the fact that it deteriorates his vision just like all Mangekyo Sharingan abilities do. The amount of chakra that Tsukuyomi requires seems to be consistent regardless of the complexity of the illusion, as Itachi lost quite a bit of chakra even after trapping Sasuke in a pretty standard genjutsu with the use of Tsukuyomi. But generally the reason it takes up so much chakra is because of the potential that Itachi...
So basically, it sounds like the best opportunity you would have to take down Itachi would be for someone else to attack him right after he used the Tsukuyomi on someone else, correct? I mean, wouldn't that tend to follow? But the one he used it on is pretty much screwed.
Much chakra is because of the potential that Itachi has to create some of the most complex illusions in pretty much like the whole world. I don't know too many other people who can cause somebody to live out the entirety of their life in 10 picoseconds. So, you know, that probably explains the huge chakra cost. And then, of course, the progressive blindness, that's self-explanatory. The more Itachi uses this jutsu, the more and more it will degrade his vision. Anyway, that about does it for the Tsukuyomi.
Wow, that was fascinating. This guy is so good. I'm such a huge Swagkage fan.
I think it's a pretty fun genjutsu. Probably my favorite, in all honesty. But anyway, that's beside the point. Thank you guys for watching the video all the way to the end. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button to get updates when I post.
Yeah, obviously, if any of you guys aren't subscribed to Swagkage, please rectify that.
You have for future videos in the comments below. And until my next video, I'll talk to you later. Swagkage out. Bye.
And like I said, he just delivers everything so well too. He's so easy to listen to, so much fun to listen to. So that... I didn't realize just exactly how OP this was. This was fascinating. I wish there were more of his videos I could watch, because this actually makes it more fun going forward, because obviously the Tsukuyomi is going to come up again, and having a better and deeper understanding of it just makes the whole experience all that much more fun. Holy shit, is that overpowered. But it does seem like there is that one, well, maybe that's why you keep a Daywalker right next to you all the time, because I just got thinking about that. The thing is, if Itachi, if he's not in a direct one-on-one battle, okay, he uses the Tsukuyomi, and at that moment that he's done with it, he could have his ass beat, right? Because first of all, he can't see. Second of all, his chakra is pretty much dried up if it takes that much. So that would be, I was going to say, that would be the optimal way to beat him, but kind of sucks for the person that has to, you know, probably get killed by the Tsukuyomi so the others can move on, But yeah, I'm glad we watched this. This is going to make the Tsukuyomi even more fun, and I'm going to go try and work on it, just, you know, make sure I don't have it, because, oh man, I could wreak some havoc.